Hey, it's Sean with 10A Tactical, and we're going to do another round of videos for you. This one is going to be over the training center and the pro shop, but that's going to be a little bit later in this video. The first portion is we've been requested to do a gun safety video. So we're going to go over the rules on gun safety. Now, some of you are sitting there thinking to yourself, man, I've watched, videos, and I know, well, I'm going to take a different take on it, a little bit different probably, just because of the type of person that I am. All right, so the first rule is always keep the gun pointed in a safe direction. That's the first rule, right? I mean, if you didn't know if this was loaded, which my cameraman has no clue right now because there is a magazine in it, and so we're just going to pretend that you guys are the real deal, right? That you're standing in front of me. If you're in the staging area and this is how you're talking to me, okay, I don't know how a SIG M17 tastes, but you'll find out, because I will give this to you like a Big Mac, okay? No, we're not gonna sit and talk to somebody like this, right? We're not gonna treat this gun like it's a toy, right? We're gonna treat it like it's a real firearm. We're gonna use all of these safety precautions, right, in real steel and on the airsoft. So, well, the first thing that I do personally is obviously unload it, make sure that there's nothing in it. I visually check, I physically check, right? Make sure that there's nothing at all inside this gun no matter what, right? I'm gonna keep, this is the muzzle, right? I'm gonna keep that always pointing in a safe direction. I'm never gonna point at anything that I don't intend to shoot, hurt, maim, blow their eyes, teeth out, whatever it is that I feel like doing that day, right? So I'm gonna treat like this like it's loaded. I'm always gonna keep it pointed in a safe direction. I'm going to keep my finger. Where's my finger, right? This is the number one safety, right? This and this, right? So I'm going to keep my finger out of the trigger guard and off the trigger until it's time to do work, right? I find work. Guess what? I find work. This will move with no problem. Look, boom, bam, work, 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 not work, 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 not work, right? This is my safety, right? That's what I'm going to do. All right, so we've talked about the muzzle always being pointed in a safe direction. The other thing is, and this is probably the most important thing and the thing that I see the most problems with, one of the training scars or the playing scars or whatever you want to call it in airsoft is this right here, priority of fire or understanding your backdrop. I don't know how many times I've seen people shooting their own friends because they're aiming at an enemy and they don't understand their backdrop, right? Well, it's fun, I get it, I like it, but in reality, if you're gonna transition to real steel at any point in time, you need to understand your backdrop and what's behind what you're shooting. We train real steel and civilians here. We do law enforcement, military, all sorts of stuff, but one of the things that we run into is we get those, people that just, they think, man, I was in the military, whatever, I got it all together, or I used to be a cop, or whatever it is, and they come in here and I see them running shots and shooting, not realizing that in the room right behind it, there's targets that these are going through and drilling these civilian targets, right? Is because they don't understand their backdrop. Now, why is that important? It's important because if you're at home and you have somebody break in and you don't understand the dynamics of your own home or the layout of your own home, and you start to engage a bad guy and you have kids throughout, in other portions of the house, that's gonna be real bad, because I promise you a 9mm is gonna travel through sheetrock with no problem. It has enough weight and mass and energy, it's gonna go through some things, okay? So that's why you have to understand your backdrop, and you're never gonna point at anything that you don't intend to shoot, kill, maim, or hurt, right? So those are the rules in firearms. Those are the rules in airsoft. So I want you guys to practice those things, right? Every time. And you can actually see, even in airsoft, you can actually see the BBs whenever they're stuck in there. I'm gonna tell you a funny story, okay? I broke a rule one time at our old field. And that was, I had an airsoft gun that was sitting there. It had no magazine in it, had a battery in it, but I had looked at it. I cleared it in the trash can, cleared it 6 or 7 times, right? There was nothing in that gun. We had pulled the magazine out. I mean, there was nothing in that gun. Well, I picked it up goofing around, right? No magazine in it or anything. And I shot it up against this little target thing I was looking at. And man, boom, That thing shot a BB. I didn't have any goggles or anything, and didn't hurt me, but it let off a BB. The only thing we could figure is that there was a BB somewhere within the gun, the hop up or somewhere. I don't know. We had looked at it pretty clearly. There wasn't nothing in there, and I had cleared it. There's nothing in there. But lo and behold, what happened? Something fell in there, got in the right spot, and did work. That's why you never know. And I can't tell you, in law enforcement, I've gone on a ton of runs. I went to a guy one time, blew a hole straight through the center of his hand. And his deal was, man, I checked it. I knew it wasn't loaded, and he blew a hand. Well, now I don't know why you're testing it in front of your hand, but regardless, that's what happened, right? So that's what we have to do, right? We're never gonna be pointing this in any direction, right, that's unsafe, that we don't intend to shoot. We're gonna keep our finger off the trigger. We're gonna treat this thing like it's loaded at all times. When we do check it, we're gonna check it visually, and we're gonna check it manually. And then if I have a friend around, I'll actually hand it over and let them look at it too, to make sure, especially if I'm running real steel, okay? So, and we're gonna understand our backdrop, not only what we're shooting, but beyond what we're shooting. That's what we're gonna do. All right, now as far as the training center goes, I don't know how many people have been here, but we have several rooms throughout the facility. We have electronic target system. We have targets all through the facility. You can run pies, you can run limiteds, you can run teams. We got doors on all the facilities. We got access points where they use electronic access control. We have fire alarm stimulus, which is basically blinking lights and alarm, where if we want to do low light, no light, we've got the lighting set up in here where we can bring it to low light. We can run shadows, and so you understand lighting and how important lighting is. You can come and rent the facility out. You can rent equipment. Basically, you can do whatever you want, whatever you want to accomplish. We have it. We also have, obviously, our real training for citizens, and then we have our pro shop where we can order anything you want. What I try and do is, if you shoot real steel, I will point you a certain direction. If you're not planning on shooting real steel and it's all play, I will point you another direction, right? And so I will try and get you exactly what fits what you're trying to do, right? I'm not just gonna try and sell you something to sell you something. I'm actually gonna try and get what works for you and what your goals are. So anyways, come down and see us at 10-8 Tactical. We're at 2412 South Douglas in Midwest City. We're open from 9 to 7, Monday through Saturday. My name is Sean Anderman. Thank you for watching.